day 2 of the AES show, and we're on the Gibson Pro Audio booth where Niels is going to show us the latest incarnation of the V Series KRK speakers. Now, I've just done a review of some of these and I found them rather impressive, so why is there such a difference?
Hello Paul, welcome everybody here at the show. Thanks for giving us the opportunity to talk up to our new V Series 4. First of all, some may question why V Series 4. We had V Series 1, we had V Series 2, we had then the VXTs, and now the 4th generation basically. And there's so many things that KRK has came up with over the last decades. We actually celebrate our 30th anniversary this year. Yeah. And there were a lot of legacy things which we wanted to leverage within these new V Series. And some of you may remember a really halo product which every recording engineer in the world loves, the E8s, which featured a Kevlar tweeter. Now the new V Series, they also feature a new Kevlar dome tweeter and a Kevlar woofer. Now the trick is that using the same material on all the frequency gives us an extremely good response and a very smooth and very detailed mid-range. And a very good transient response. And that's one of the things that we embedded into the V Series. The other thing, which is really cool, and I'd like to show this from the back, it features many different EQ options here. So instead of just saying you can lower the bass or you can bring the bass up or the treble, we said there is users out there that have different environments they work in. So for example, if somebody wants to bring up the bass but also wants to bring up the mids. Now if you look at the back of the speaker, you find that there's like 7 different EQ settings for the lows and 7 different EQ settings for the highs. Yeah. Now instead of saying you can bring up the lows or you can bring up the highs or bring it down, we said there's use cases. People using different environments and people have different personal tastes, and in order to give them the opportunity to tailor the system to their personal taste, we have these kind of like settings. For example, you can lower the bass, you can bring up the highs, you can actually bring up the mids, you can lower the mids. If people put the speaker on their meter bridge of the desk, they can bring in the desk filter, and at 200 hertz they lower it by 2 decibels. Yeah.
So that's 49 different EQ permutations for
correct.
Every eventuality.
He did the math.
Yeah. Okay. And you also have some dip switches here. What are they doing?
Yes. On the dip switches, you can, for example, switch off the standby. The speaker comes with an automatic standby, so after 30 minutes of not using the speaker, they're going to turn off. But in an environment, for example, you do a 5.1 mix, and there's just a few effects coming from the back, you don't want the speaker to turn off after 30 minutes. So this is why you basically can bypass the standby. You can also ground lift the ground in case of you work in in an environment where you don't want a ground loop. You can lift it here. Another cool thing which we did is in the studio where it's like a dimmed down light. Some people maybe want to dim the front light as well. So you can even go that far that you dim the front light with the dip switches. Yeah. The other cool thing which I really like is we have this aluminum front here, an aluminum front baffle with this nice brushed aluminum. All the V Series ship with grills included. So instead of mounting a grill from the front, you can take off the entire front plate and then mount the grill and put the front plate back on. And that gives a very nice and smooth look. I can show this to you here. It looks like this basically.
And you're saying this is very good for people who have cats?
It's good for cats, it's good for pets, it's good for kids. No, actually it's protecting, and it's not only for the pets and the kids, it's also when you travel. I mean, especially the V4 is an amazing speaker when you travel or when you're on the road, or for broadcast, for example. You can even mount them in a broadcast truck. So they come with mounting options here on the bottom. All the V Series, the V4, V5, V6, and the V8, they all ship with grills included.
Well, I guess they're only just available because I reviewed one very recently and it was kind of secret out of the back door of the factory. So when are they shipping in quantity?
They're going to be available in the stores worldwide beginning of November. So it's just a few more weeks and then everybody can actually check them out who has not had the chance here at the AES show.
Do you have dollar pricing per pair?
Yes, the map in the United States is $399 per piece, $599 per piece, and $799 US dollars per piece.
So you have to double that for the pair.
You double it for the pair, course, so it's like, another cool thing which I really think is important to mention, we also brought up the headroom substantially compared to the VXTs. If you look at the VXT6s, for example, they had a combined power of 90 watts. This one here has a combined power of 155 watts.
Yeah.
So there's way more headroom available, and that's also very useful, especially when you crank up the system. The definition, the details, it's pretty spectacular. And we work with, I would say, almost over 100 engineers in this whole development phase. So instead of just, being in our backyard and building the speaker, we took it out already since many, many months to lots of big facilities and very, very good engineers, and they all provided feedback because we wanted to make sure that once the products get released, there's like, wow, this is exactly what the market wants, and that's exactly what that tool needs to be to create great music.
Thanks very much.
My pleasure, Paul. Thanks for being here. Thank you, everybody.